I first met Mrs. Moseley in the fall of 1967. I was a freshman working on the staff of the Pinecone, Lindsay's yearbook, and she and Miss Jane Hulse were the faculty yearbook advisors. Miss Hulse handled the business aspects and advertisements, while Mrs. Moseley was the advisor for the compiling and layout of the yearbook. I worked closely with Mrs. Moseley and got to know her and genuinely like her.
She first came into my life when I was a freshman, and she was my English teacher. But she was different from the English teacher as I had in high school. She made it exciting. Number one, with her dress, I thought she dressed so lovely, and her face. She had a smile from the minute we walked in, all through class, and when we were walking out, she still held that smile. She made English a special occasion, and we were all thrilled to be part of her class.
Miss Moseley was my high school advanced English teacher, and she was my first college professor as my English teacher in a class here at Lindsay Wilson College. Miss Moseley saw something in me that I did not see in myself. She saw me, a first-generation college student and a little farm girl who grew up about 3 miles up the road on 206. The opportunity and the possibilities and the need for me to pursue my educational journey. And I did, with her help. You see, she taught me in school that it was important how you communicate, what you communicate, and the way you do it.
My sophomore year, I was the editor of the Pinecone and continued to work closely with her. Also, I was a student in 2 of her classes, English 102 and English Literature. She was an excellent and knowledgeable instructor. She was a strong role model to me in my Lindsay days, and she influenced me to complete my BA at the University of Kentucky with a major in English.
Then my sophomore year, I met a different Mrs. Moseley. She became the sponsor of the Pinecone Annual, and I became the editor. My staff and I were a nervous wreck when she walked in at that first meeting. We started all speaking at once. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know if we can do it. Are you sure you don't want to get someone else? Blah, blah, blah. And she just smiled and said, it's just a process. We'll all do it together. And at the end, you'll be proud of the Pinecone of 1967. So that year, we did. We worked together with her direction, her care, her love, letting us know why we did something or how to do it, cheering us on. We were delighted to come every day to be with her. And if she missed being with us, it wasn't as good a time.
Being a teacher in the English department, she made sure every entry was grammatically correct with no misspelled words. Every T crossed, every I dotted. You get the picture. She had a great sense of humor, and I enjoyed working with her immensely. I admired her as a teacher and for being a working wife and mother of 3 children.
In addition to having English classes with you for 4 years, I also was a member of your journalism class. And I'm holding in front of me The Chieftain, which is the yearbook, of which I served as editor under your guidance in 1980. And as I look at this yearbook, I find so many wonderful memories of our time together spent in that small classroom at the edge of the hall where we would work ourselves silly trying to meet publication dates either for the newspaper or for the yearbook. Little did I know that this many years later, I would still be trying to meet deadlines for publication. In the yearbook, as tradition, we always have our faculty members sign our books, and this is what you wrote to me. Marion, you have been a great delight to me. I've enjoyed having you as a student, and I feel you have been a friend. I know you will do well in your career. Keep in touch with me, and if I can ever help you, just let me know how. And she did. She helped me by writing reference letters and college applications, all of those things that are not a part of the job description of a favorite teacher.
So she's touched my life as a teacher and a friend. I've watched her through her life with her students, her family, her church, those out in the world that she's around. I've watched her minister to them with her smile, her love, her care, never really preaching a sermon, but living her sermons. Her love for Lindsey Wilson College never ceased, nor did her love for her students. So I say to you, Mrs. Moseley, Betty Jean, we are all so excited and so honored that our special teacher is honored today. God bless you, Mrs. Moseley, Betty Jean.
It is people like Betty Jean Moseley, Miss Moseley, who invest in students, who invest in individuals, who see potential in them that they cannot see for themselves, and they change the world by doing that. I know that my life has been deeply influenced by the Moseley family, and in particular, Miss Moseley. I want you to know, as I struggle over periods and commas and publication dates, even to this day, that I cherish you, I appreciate you, and I love you. Thank you.
So to you, Betty Jean Moseley, it is my distinct honor today to present to you the Honorary Alumnus Award in recognition of your excellence in teaching, service, and devotion to the former students of Lindsey Wilson College, one of whom was me. I count you as my friend, mentor, role model, and honored teacher.
Please welcome the 2022 Honorary Alumna Award recipient, Betty Jean Moseley.